You weren't put on this earth to be average. You weren't born to settle. You weren't made to watch life pass you by while others take what you're meant to have. You were born to win. But here's the truth. Winning isn't given. It's earned every day, every fight, every sacrifice. If you want to win, you've got to improve. Sharpen yourself, push harder, crush your weaknesses, become a man who refuses to be ignored. Most men never try. They let fear decide. They stay in the shadows. They settle for comfort, but not you, not now. You feel it, the fire inside, the voice whispering, I was meant for more. That voice isn't a suggestion, it's a command. Ignore it and you'll regret it. Answer it and you'll rise. Refuse to quit. Refuse to stop. Refuse to stay the same man you were yesterday. The world doesn't respect comfort. It doesn't reward excuses. It crowns the relentless, the unbreakable, the men who fight like hell for what's theirs. You were born to win, but first you've got to become unstoppable. Start now. Become the man who conquers everything in his path. Most men never win, not because they lack brains, not because they don't have the talent, not because they weren't given an opportunity. They never win because they surrender long before the battle even begins. They wave the white flag before throwing a single punch. They convince themselves that mediocrity is enough, that average is safe, that comfort is happiness. But the second a man swallows that poison, he's already dead. You know the type. They used to dream big, but now they only talk about what could have been. They used to burn with fire, but now they hide behind excuses. They used to look in the mirror and see a warrior, but now all they see is a shell. And listen to the lies they whisper to themselves. I'll start tomorrow. I don't have time. It's too risky. Tomorrow never comes. Time doesn't wait. And risk, the very thing that could have saved them, is the very thing they ran from. So what happens? They trade their ambition for comfort, their hunger for cheap distractions, their masculinity for safety, routine, and a slow, silent death. Look around, you'll see them everywhere. Men who gave up on themselves. They wake up exhausted. They drag themselves into a job they despise. They choke down coffee, force fake smiles, nod at bosses they don't respect. Then they crawl home, sink into the couch, and numb their souls with junk food, alcohol, video games, or mindless scrolling. And they repeat it day after day, month after month, year after year, until one morning they wake up old, broken, empty, and realize their life was never truly lived. That's the brutal truth. Most men don't die at 80. They die at 20 and spend the next 60 years walking around as ghosts, hollow, silent, invisible shadows of who they were supposed to be. A man who forgets he was born to win becomes a man destined to lose. Not because life is unfair, not because the odds are impossible, but because he chose to stay small. But you're not like them. You feel that restless fire in your chest, don't you? You hear that voice inside your head that whispers, this can't be it. This isn't all there is. That voice isn't weakness. That voice isn't delusion. That voice is the truth. That voice is your soul screaming at you to wake up, to rise, to claim what's yours. You weren't put here to blend in. You weren't put here to kneel before fear. You weren't put here to live a safe, quiet, forgettable existence. Number. You were put here to fight. You were put here to rise. You were put here to conquer. Every man has that fire inside him, but only a rare few choose to feed it. Most bury it under excuses. Most smother it with fear. Most drown it in comfort and distraction until the flame dies completely. But not you, not anymore. Because you're still here, you're still breathing, and as long as blood runs through your veins, the fight isn't over. Brother, you've got one shot at this life. won. No rewinds, no do-overs, no second chances. The clock is ticking. Every second you waste living small is a second you'll never get back. Every excuse you cling to is another chain around your neck. And the world isn't going to hand you victory. No one is coming to save you. Not your parents, not your friends, not the government, not luck. It's on you. But that's the best part, because once you decide to stop bowing, stop settling, stop surrendering, your life changes forever. The day you step into the arena and say, I will not quit, I will not settle, I will not bow down, that's the day the world begins to bend. That's the day your enemies notice. That's the day your destiny wakes up. And from that moment forward, you are no longer just another man. You become dangerous. You become relentless. You become unstoppable. The man who was once forgotten becomes the man no one can ignore. The man who once hid in the shadows becomes the man who conquers the stage. The man who once lived like a ghost becomes the man who leaves his name carved into eternity. You weren't born to lose. You weren't born to be average. You weren't born to fade quietly into nothingness. You were born to win, to fight, to rise, to conquer. So wake up, stand tall, step into the fire, and remember who the hell you are. Winning is your duty. Winning isn't optional. It isn't a nice to have. It isn't something you chase when the stars align and life feels comfortable. Winning is your duty. If you call yourself a man, this truth must burn into your chest. You were not born for mediocrity. You were not born to drift through life like a leaf in the wind. You were born to carry weight, to bear responsibility, to fight battles others are too weak to fight, to lead the charge when everyone else runs. Because when you win, it's never just you who wins. When you win, your family wins. When you win, your brothers win. When you win, the people who depend on you, who believe in you, who pray silently for your strength, they win too. But when you lose, when you shrink back, when you throw in the towel and surrender to mediocrity, you don't just fail yourself, you fail every single person tied to your name. You fail your family who trusted you to build a better life. You fail the younger men who look to you as an example. You fail the woman who believed you were strong enough to lead. You fail the children not even born yet who will live under the shadow of your weakness. This is what most men don't understand. Losing is not personal. Quitting is not private. Weakness spreads like a disease. When you fall, others fall with you. That's why winning is not about pride, it's not about glory, it's about duty. As a man, duty comes before comfort, duty comes before feelings, duty comes before excuses. Your duty is to rise no matter how heavy the burden. Your duty is to fight no matter how bloody the battle. Your duty is to win, even when the cost feels unbearable. Because if you don't, then who will? This world is hard, it's cruel, it's unforgiving, and it does not care about your tears, your pain, or your story. It only respects strength. It only respects men who refuse to break. It only respects winners. History doesn't remember the man who almost made it. It doesn't honor the man who quit when things got hard. It doesn't tell the story of the man who chose comfort over conquest. History remembers conquerors. History remembers warriors. History remembers the men who stood tall in the fire, who carried their duty on their back and refused to lay it down. And you, brother, you were born to be one of those men. So don't tell me you're tired. Don't tell me life isn't fair. Don't tell me you don't feel like it today. You don't get that luxury. Not if people are counting on you. Not if your name means something. Not if you're a man who takes his duty seriously. Every morning you wake up, the clock is ticking. You are either building your legacy or destroying it. You are either rising or rotting. You are either winning or losing. And don't think for a second that staying the same is safe. It's not. Stagnation is just a slower kind of death. That's why mediocrity is the most dangerous poison a man can drink. It lulls you into thinking you're safe while it robs you of everything you could have been. So stop asking for easy. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop hoping someone else will save you. No one is coming. It's you. It has always been you. It will always be you. Your family is counting on you. Your brothers are counting on you. Your future children are counting on you. So stand up, take the weight, carry it with pride, and fight like your life depends on it, because it does. Winning is not about desire. Desire fades. Winning is not about passion. Passion dies. Winning is not even about talent. Talent is wasted every day by weak men. Winning is about duty. Winning is about showing up when you don't want to. Winning is about grinding when your body screams to quit. Winning is about refusing to let down the people who believe in you. And one day, when your time comes and they lower you into the ground, there will only be two truths they can speak about your life. Either they will say, he lived strong, he carried his weight, he was a man we could count on, or they will say, he wasted his potential, he left nothing behind. He quit on himself, and everyone else, brother, you get to decide which truth they tell. So when the pressure feels unbearable, when life punches you in the mouth, when the world dares you to quit, you rise, you roar back, you fight harder, because you don't have the right to lose. You don't have the right to quit. You don't have the right to betray your duty. Winning isn't a choice. It's who you are. It's what you were born for. It's your destiny. It's your duty. Now go and take what's yours. The fight is inside you. Winning doesn't come from luck. Luck is the language of losers. Luck is what men without discipline pray for because they lack the strength to take what's theirs. They roll dice, they beg fate. But warriors don't roll dice, they roll through their enemies. Winning doesn't come from talent. Talent is a curse for most men. It makes them lazy. It makes them believe they're owed something. Graveyards are filled with talented men who never fought. Bars are filled with talented men telling stories about what they could have been. Talent without fire is a coffin with no lid. Winning doesn't come from waiting. Waiting is suicide in slow motion. Men wait for the right time, the perfect moment, the green light, and while they wait, life passes, opportunities die, dreams rot, and they become ghosts in their own lives. Winning comes from war, the real war, the war inside your chest. Every morning when your eyes open, you're already on the battlefield, and there are two men standing inside of you. The first one is weak, he's soft, he's pathetic, he craves comfort, he craves safety, he craves pleasure. He whispers, "Take it easy. Sleep in, you've done enough. Why suffer? Why push? Tomorrow, tomorrow, tomorrow." That man is a liar. That man is a thief. He will steal your strength, your courage, your destiny. He will drag you to the grave with your dreams still inside you. And worst of all, he smiles while he kills you slowly. Then there's the second man, the warrior, the fighter, the conqueror, the one who spits in the face of weakness and says, "Not today." He doesn't care if you're tired. He doesn't care if it hurts. He doesn't care if the world is against you. Pain doesn't scare him. He feeds on it. Discomfort doesn't break him. It sharpens him. Failure doesn't stop him. It fuels him. That's the man you were born to be. That's the man buried inside your chest, waiting to be unleashed. And every single day, those two men go to war. Every morning, the battlefield is drawn. The fight doesn't start in the gym. The fight doesn't start at work. The fight doesn't start out there in the world. It starts the second you open your eyes. Who wins, the coward or the warrior? Understand this. The man who conquers himself can never be conquered by anyone else. The man who kills his weakness daily becomes unstoppable, but the man who lets weakness win, he's already dead. He doesn't need an enemy. He doesn't need the world against him. He lost before he even started. That's why this war is everything. That's why this war is life or death. Because once you kill the weak man inside you, everything changes. The outside world bends to the man who has mastered himself. Money follows him. Respect follows him. Power follows him. Legacy follows him. Because men, women, and children all recognize one thing: a man who has tamed his own chaos. You'll feel it in your body. Every rep in the gym, you'll feel steel replacing weakness. Every grind at work, you'll feel your mind sharpen into a blade. Every choice to suffer, you'll feel your spirit become untouchable. People around you will notice. They'll see the fire in your eyes. They'll hear the authority in your voice. They'll feel the gravity when you walk into a room, because the man who wins the inner war doesn't just live, he radiates power. But here's the truth: this fight never ends. You don't kill the weak man once. You kill him every morning. You crush him every day. You bury him every night. And then he rises again to test you tomorrow. That's the price. That's the game. That's the fight of being a man. So don't come to me crying about luck. Don't whine about talent. Don't complain about circumstances. The only question that matters is this: when you wake up tomorrow, when the weak man whispers in your ear, when the warrior inside you clenches his fists, which one do you feed? Which one do you choose? Which one walks out of that door and faces the world? Because that choice, that fight, that war inside your chest, it decides everything. Win it every single day. You were literally born to win. Listen to me. You were not put on this earth to be average. You were not put here to watch life pass you by. You were not put here to settle. You were not put here to live in chains, shackled by fear, weakness, and excuses. You were born to rise. You were born to fight. You were born to conquer. You were born to win. And if you ever doubt it, look back at your life. Think about every time you should have fallen. Every time life tried to crush you, humiliate you, bury you. Every time the world said, enough, you can't do this. And yet you stood. You rose. You clawed your way back. You refused to stay down. That's who you are. That is your fire. That is your steel. Do you understand me? The world will test you. It will hit you harder than you think you can survive. It will break your body, humiliate your mind, and try to crush your spirit. It will tell you you're weak. It will whisper that you're nothing. It will make you feel small, insignificant, defeated. But you are not small. You are not weak. You are a force of nature. You are a storm waiting to unleash itself. And the only way to claim what is yours, the only way to dominate your life, your destiny, your future, is to rise every single day. Rise before the sun. Rise when your body screams no. Rise when the world has already counted you out. Rise when fear grips your chest and doubt clouds your mind. Every single day, you sharpen your mind. You sharpen your body. You sharpen your soul. Every day, you forge yourself into a weapon that cannot be stopped, a man who will not be denied. Because here is the truth. Winning is not luck. Winning is not talent. Winning is not waiting for opportunity to knock. Winning is war. It is a battle fought every second of every day. It is a war against weakness, fear, procrastination, comfort, and every excuse that wants to keep you small. Every man who ever achieved greatness fought this war. Every man who ever left a mark on the world had to bleed, suffer, sacrifice, and push through the impossible, and so must you. Every setback, every failure, every moment of pain, it is not punishment. It is training. It is sharpening you for the next battle. It is the forge of your greatness. So never stop, never quit, never allow weakness to claim you, Never allow comfort to seduce you, because comfort is death. Comfort is mediocrity. Comfort is the graveyard where men go to rot while still breathing. You, my brother, were not born for that. You were born to rise. You were born to dominate. You were born to conquer. You were born to win. Every day, demand more from yourself. Every day, push past the pain. Every day, step into the fire when everyone else runs away. Stand tall when others bow. Speak with power when others whisper. Move with force when others falter. Sharpen your mind. Harden your body. Strengthen your soul. Build yourself into a man who cannot be shaken, a man who cannot be broken, a man who cannot be ignored. The weak will surrender. The timid will hesitate. The fearful will fade, but not you, not ever. You rise, you fight, you endure, you conquer. History does not remember men who settled. History does not honor men who surrendered. History only remembers the men who bled, who fought, who refused to bow, who refused to die quietly. And that is what you are, a warrior, a conqueror, a king in the making. So take your place, pick up your sword, step into the fire, face the battle, crush the doubts, defeat the fear, overcome every obstacle, because every man you meet will try to stop you. Life will try to break you. The world will try to silence you, but you will not be stopped. You will not be broken. You will not be silenced. You were born to rise. You were born to fight. You were born to conquer. You were born to win. And remember this, every second you waste, every moment you hesitate, every choice to settle for less than greatness, it is a victory for your enemy. So move, act, fight relentlessly, mercilessly, without apology. Sharpen your mind, sharpen your body, sharpen your spirit, and then step forward, because you are not weak, you are not small, you are a storm, a force that cannot be denied. You were born to rise, you were born to fight, you were born to conquer, you were born to win, and no one will ever take that from you. In the end, you weren't born to settle, you weren't born to stay the same. You were born to evolve, to grow, to rise higher every single day. Improvement is the game. And if you keep sharpening yourself, if you keep pushing forward, winning becomes inevitable. If this hit you, smash that like button, subscribe for more, and comment "I will win" to prove you watch till the very end. Remember, winners aren't made once, they're built daily. See you in the next one.